They say Hoppin John is black-eyed peas and rice. But in the deep South, it was something else entirely. 25 different versions, each one telling a story. Picture this. It's January 1947. Charleston kitchen. Cast iron pot simmering. Carolina gold rice waiting. Recipe passed down through 5 generations. Secret nobody writes down. Hoppin John wasn't one recipe. It was tradition morphing through centuries. West African roots. Gullah adaptations. Creole influences. Every family claiming theirs was authentic. Every grandmother refusing to share her method. Today, I'm taking you back. When Hoppin John meant more than New Year's luck. When rice variety mattered. When the way you cooked, it revealed where you came from. Who taught you what you believed. Stay with me. These 25 forgotten variations tell the Deep South's real story. When food carried history in every grain of rice. Number 1. Carolina Gold Rice Hoppin John. Carolina Gold Rice. Not any rice. January 1938, when rice variety meant everything. When Charleston families wouldn't dream of using ordinary rice. When authenticity started with the grain itself before any pea touched the pot. Sarah Rutledge soaked dried black-eyed peas overnight in cold water. Morning came, she boiled them with ham hock until peas turned tender but held their shape. Drained them, saving that cooking liquid rich with ham flavor. She cooked Carolina gold rice separately in the pea cooking liquid. Long grain rice her family had grown for generations. Rice that made Charleston famous. Rice nearly extinct now, but then was only rice worth using. During the 30s, when Carolina Gold rice farms still operated before cheaper rice from Texas and Louisiana killed the industry, this recipe represented original Hoppin John, the real one, the Charleston one, the one enslaved West Africans created when Carolina rice plantations dominated the world. That rice cooked up fluffy, each grain separate, golden-hued like its name promised. She mixed cooked peas gently into rice, added butter, black pepper, salt, served it steaming with the ham hock meat shredded through it. Sarah's Carolina Gold Hoppin John crowned every New Year's table. Neighbors knew her family had access to real Carolina gold seed, status symbol, heritage marker, rice variety announcing your connection to old Charleston, old money, old South. Every spoonful carried message. Rice variety matters more than technique. Original recipe requires original rice. Heritage lives in seed genetics. Authenticity starts before cooking, begins with choosing correct grain. Would you know Carolina Gold rice if you saw it? Would you taste the difference? Drop a comment. I'm reading every one. Number 2. Sea Island Red Peas Hoppin John. Red peas, not black-eyed. January 1952, when Gullah communities on Sea Islands made Hoppin John their way. When red peas meant connection to African roots, deeper than mainland traditions. When color mattered, because memory mattered. Esther Jenkins sorted through dried red peas, removing stones, rinsing them clean. Boiled them with smoked ham bone, bay leaf, onion whole. Red peas cooking slower than black-eyed, requiring patience, requiring knowing. She cooked white rice separately Carolina variety if she could get it, any long grain if she couldn't. Drained peas when tender, mixed them into rice while both stayed hot. Red and white creating pattern like Sea Island sunsets she'd watched her whole life. During the 50s, when mainland folks insisted Hoppin John meant black-eyed peas only, Sea Island Gullah families knew different. Red peas connected to African ancestors more directly. West African red pea dishes. Memories carry across Middle Passage. Food becoming memory, becoming resistance against forgetting. Those red peas colored the rice slightly pink. She served it knowing mainland folks would say she'd made it wrong. But her grandmother taught her this way, and grandmother's grandmother before that. Sea Island way. Gullah way, right way for them. Esther's red peas. Hoppin John fed her community every New Year. Separate from mainland Charleston tradition. Separate deliberately. Maintaining difference as cultural preservation. Red peas as resistance against homogenization. Memory cooked into rice and peas and refusing to forget. Every spoonful carried message. Variations matter as much as tradition. Color carries memory across centuries. Mainland doesn't dictate island truth. Heritage refuses to be standardized. Number 3. Smoky ham hock Hoppin John. Whole ham hock, smoked for days. December 1944, when the ham hock mattered more than anything else. When smoke flavor defined the dish. When 3 days of smoking meat created foundation for New Year's luck, tasting like patience and wood smoke. Thomas Brown smoked his ham hock 3 days over hickory wood. Started December 28th. Rotated it hourly. Watched smoke penetrate deep into meat and bone. Preparation beginning before New Year's week even started. He boiled that smoked ham hock 2 hours before adding black-eyed peas. Water turning golden brown from smoke and salt and pork. Peas added when ham hock turned tender. Rice cooked separately in pea ham liquid. During the 40s, when smoking meat was necessity before refrigeration was luxury, smoked ham hock Hoppin John represented time investment. 3 days smoking, 2 hours boiling. Creating depth of flavor quick methods couldn't match. Patience literally smoked into every bite. Ham hock fell apart tender. He shredded meat back into rice and peas. Smoke flavor permeating everything. Dark, rich, complex. Tasting like hickory wood and December cold and 3 days of tending fire and watching smoke. Thomas's smoked ham hock Hoppin John became legendary in his Mississippi Delta community. Neighbors asked his smoking secret. He shared freely time. Just time. 3 days. No shortcuts. No rushing. Smoke requiring patience, rewarding patience. Every spoonful carried message. Depth requires time. Smoke flavor can't be hurried. 3 days of preparation creates something instant methods can't touch. Patience smokes into pork, boils into peas, feeds into luck tasting like earned success. If you're still watching, you understand. These aren't just recipe variations. They're philosophy differences. Hit like if you see it. Number 4. Bacon drippings Hoppin John, no meat. Just bacon, fat, and onions. January 1936, when bacon drippings Hoppin John meant Depression economics. When meat cost too much, but saved bacon grease cost nothing. When flavor came from fat, not flesh. When poverty created its own tradition. Dorothy Mitchell saved bacon drippings in her tin for months. Every bacon strip cooked meant more grease saved. By New Year's, she'd accumulated enough to make Hoppin John without buying ham hock she couldn't afford. She sautéed onions in bacon drippings until golden and translucent. Boiled black-eyed peas in water, no meat, cooked rice. Combined everything, stirring bacon-onion mixture through rice and peas. Bacon flavor without bacon. Smoke memory without smoke source. During Depression years, when meat disappeared from most tables, bacon drippings Hoppin John represented adaptation. Traditional recipe requiring adaptation. Poverty forcing creativity. Fat carrying flavor when meat was memory. Grease becoming inheritance more valuable than silver. Those peas and rice glistened with bacon fat. Onions distributed throughout. Tasting like bacon without containing any. Smell filling kitchen with something richer than reality. Illusion feeding hope when hope needed feeding. Dorothy's bacon drippings Hoppin John fed her family every New Year through Depression. No apologies. No shame. Saved grease making tradition possible when tradition seemed impossible financially. Adaptation as survival. Creativity as necessity. Pride in making it work somehow. Every spoonful carried message. Tradition adapts or dies. Flavor lives in fat when meat disappears. Saved grease carries more than cooking residue carries possibility. Hope simmers in bacon drippings, costs nothing, tastes like survival, making luck anyway. Number 5. Field peas Hoppin John. Crowder peas, lady peas, purple hulls. June 1958, when summer Hoppin John meant field peas fresh from garden. When waiting until New Year's seemed pointless when peas ripened in June. When seasons dictated tradition more than calendar. Margaret Hayes picked field peas from her garden, whatever variety ripened that week. Sometimes Crowders, sometimes lady peas, sometimes purple hulls. Fresh, green, summer peas instead of dried winter peas. She boiled them fresh with salt, pork, onion, garlic. Cooked rice separately. Combined them while both steamed hot. Summer Hoppin John. Wrong season according to tradition. Right season according to garden. Fresh trumping dried. Summer trumping New Year's. During the 50s, when some Southern cooks questioned why Hoppin John only appeared New Year's Day, summer field peas Hoppin John answered that question. Good food shouldn't wait for calendar permission. Fresh peas beat dried peas regardless of tradition. Garden dictating menu more than superstition. Those field peas tasted completely different from dried black-eyed. Sweeter, creamier, more delicate. Summer flavors instead of winter storage flavors. Green instead of beige. Fresh instead of preserved. Different but delicious. Margaret's field peas. Hoppin John appeared whenever peas ripened. June, July, August. Tradition observed monthly instead of annually. Her neighbors thought she was strange. Her family thought she was genius. Fresh field peas needing no New Year's excuse. Every spoonful carried message. Tradition serves people. People don't serve tradition. Fresh beats dried when fresh is available. Calendar shouldn't dictate good food timing. Hope grows in summer gardens. Cooks whenever ready. Tastes like rebellion against arbitrary rules. Number 6. New Year's Day. Collard John. Hoppin John with collards mixed in. January 1941. When combining two New Year's traditions made sense. When peas meant coins and greens, meant folding money, and combining them meant double luck. When more superstition equaled more insurance against bad fortune. Robert Johnson cooked his Hoppin John, traditionally black-eyed peas, rice, ham hock. Separately, he cooked collard greens with pot liquor. Then, revolutionary moment, he mixed them together. Peas, rice, greens. One dish, double luck. He stirred collards into Hoppin John, pot liquor and all. Greens wilting into rice, turning everything slightly green. Liquid making it wetter than traditional. Different texture, different appearance. But double tradition, double superstition, double hope. During the 40s, when war made everyone anxious, when luck felt necessary for sons overseas and families at home, doubling New Year's luck traditions seemed logical. Why eat peas separately from greens? Combine them. Maximize luck. Mathematics of superstition optimized through combination? That combined dish steamed green speckled. Collards distributed through rice. Pot liquor making it soupy. Ham hock flavoring everything. Peas for coins. Greens for dollars. Pork for progress. All in one bowl. Efficiency meeting superstition. Robert's Collard John became his family's tradition. Others copied it. Logic spreading. If both dishes brought luck separately, combining them doubled luck. Superstition mathematics. Folk belief optimization. Tradition adapting through crisis thinking. Every spoonful carried message. Combining luck traditions multiplies luck. Why separate when combining strengthens? Innovation serves superstition when superstition serves survival. Hope mixes peas and greens, calls it double luck, believes it works. Would you mix them or keep traditions separate? Drop a comment. I want to know which way makes more sense to you. Number 7. Tomato Hoppin John tomatoes added, South Carolina variation. January 1928, when some South Carolina cooks added tomatoes and scandalized purists. When red tomatoes in Hoppin John sparked debates lasting decades. When one ingredient divided families, communities, entire counties. Helen Carter added canned tomatoes to her Hoppin John, boiled them with black-eyed peas and ham hock. Rice cooked separately, mixed together. Red-tinged rice, tomato-flavored peas. Sacrilege according to Charleston. Delicious according to her. She'd learned it from her mother, who'd learned it from hers. 3 generations of tomato Hoppin John. 3 generations of relatives arguing it wasn't authentic. 3 generations of not caring because it tasted better to them. Family tradition trumping regional tradition. During the 20s, when regional variations clashed over what constituted authentic Hoppin John, tomatoes became dividing line. Charleston purists said never. Some Lowcountry families said always. Arguments at church suppers. Debates at family reunions. Food becoming identity, becoming battle. That tomato Hoppin John emerged pink-red and different. Acid from tomatoes brightening flavors. Color announcing its controversial nature. Tasting simultaneously familiar and strange. Recognizable but divergent. Traditional but rebellious. Helen's tomato Hoppin John sparked arguments every new year. Her mother-in-law refused to eat it. Her children loved it. Her neighbors talked about it. Controversy cooked into rice and peas and tomatoes. One ingredient creating decades of discussion. Every spoonful carried message. Small changes create big debates. Tradition has gatekeepers who resist variation. Delicious matters more than authentic sometimes. Hope cooks red with tomatoes, divides families, tastes controversial and good. Number 8. Spicy Pepper Hoppin John. Hot peppers, Louisiana influence. January 1955, when Louisiana Creoles made Hoppin John their way. When cayenne pepper and hot sauce transformed Carolina tradition. When spice announced Creole identity. When heat meant refusing to make it bland like others expected. Marie Thibodeau boiled black-eyed peas with ham hock, whole cayenne peppers, bay leaves. Rice cooked with more cayenne stirred in. Combined them hot temperature and spice. Added hot sauce at table. Hoppin John that burned going down. Louisiana style. She'd never tasted bland Carolina version. Her grandmother's recipe already had peppers, always had. Louisiana tradition, diverging from Carolina before she was born. Regional variation old as any original. Spice as authentic as any mild version. During the 50s, when Louisiana Creole cooking gained recognition beyond state borders, spicy Hoppin John represented regional pride. We make it hot. That's our way. Not wrong. Different. Better according to us. Heat as cultural marker. Spice as identity. That Hoppin John steamed red speckled with cayenne. Peppers visible throughout. First bite making eyes water slightly. Second bite making you reach for more. Heat addictive. Flavor complex beneath spice. Different from Carolina. Equally traditional in Louisiana context. Marie's spicy Hoppin John fed her New Orleans community every new year. Neighbors expected heat. Bland would have disappointed. Spice level signaling authenticity in Louisiana context, while signaling corruption of tradition in Carolina context. Regional relativity of authentic. Every spoonful carried message. Tradition varies by geography. Carolina authentic differs from Louisiana authentic. Heat announces identity. Hope burns with cayenne, sweats through foreheads, tastes like regional pride refusing to be bland. If you're still here, you see the pattern now. Every region claimed authentic. Every family claimed correct. Comment which variation you'd choose. Number 9. Okra Hoppin John. Fresh okra added during summer. July 1949, when summer gardens produced okra faster than families could eat it. When adding okra to Hoppin John solved okra surplus while creating something new. When practicality created tradition nobody planned. Samuel Brooks had okra problem. Too much okra. Every day, more okra. He made okra Hoppin John black-eyed peas, rice, ham hock, fresh okra sliced, everything cooked together. Okra creating thickness. Slime thickening the dish into something between traditional Hoppin John and okra gumbo. Nobody taught him this. Garden necessity creating recipe innovation. Too much okra meeting leftover rice and peas. Combination solving surplus while creating something delicious. Accident becoming intention, becoming tradition. During the 40s, when home gardens fed families through summer, okra surplus challenged every Southern cook. Everyone had too much okra. Samuel's solution, add it to everything, Hoppin John included. Okra's thickening properties, changing texture completely. Happy accident worth repeating. That okra Hoppin John emerged thick and sticky. Okra slime coating rice. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. Texture dividing opinion sharply. But it solved okra problem while feeding family. Practical success regardless of texture controversy. Samuel's okra Hoppin John never became widespread tradition. Too controversial, texture too divisive. But his family ate it every summer. Personal tradition born from garden mathematics. Surplus creating innovation, creating family recipe nobody else wanted, but they loved. Every spoonful carried message. Necessity creates innovation. Garden surplus drives recipe adaptation. Texture controversy doesn't matter when family enjoys it. Hope thickens with okra slime, solves surplus problems, tastes like practical wisdom. Number 10. Salt pork Hoppin John. Traditional salt pork instead of ham. January 1934, when salt pork meant more traditional than ham hock. When older generation insisted original recipe used salt pork before ham hocks became common. When debates about authentic got granular about pork cuts. Clara Washington used salt pork, the whole slab, not bacon, not ham hock. Boiled it with black-eyed peas. Salt pork rendering fat, releasing preserved saltiness, creating flavor base. Old way. Way her grandmother taught her. Way before ham hocks became standard. She removed salt pork after cooking, sliced it thin, fried the slices crispy. Served them alongside Hoppin John instead of shredded through it. Meat separate, distinction maintained. Old-fashioned presentation nobody did anymore, but she remembered. During Depression years, when salt pork cost less than ham hock, when cheaper cut had historical precedent, salt pork Hoppin John represented both economy and tradition. Older recipe being cheaper recipe. Authentic coinciding with affordable. History serving current necessity. That salt pork Hoppin John tasted saltier, fattier than ham hock version. Rice glistened with rendered pork fat. Flavor more intense, more preserved tasting. Different from modern ham hock smoothness. Older flavor profile. Acquired taste for younger folks raised on ham. Clara's salt pork Hoppin John maintained dying tradition. Younger generation preferring ham hock's milder flavor. She persisted. This was correct way. Historical way. Authentic way, according to her memory of her grandmother's teaching. Tradition dying with her generation. Every spoonful carried message. Oldest isn't always popular. Authentic shifts as generations change. What grandmother knew dies when grandmother dies. Hope preserves in salt. Tastes old-fashioned. Remembers methods younger folks forget. Number 11. Neck bones Hoppin John pork neck bones for richness. January 1946, when neck bones meant extra richness ham hock couldn't provide. When bones with more meat created richer Hoppin John. When knowing which pork cut optimized flavor separated experienced cooks from beginners. Margaret Lewis bought pork neck bones cheaper than ham, meatier than hock. Boiled them 3 hours until meat felt tender from bone. That broth turned rich, thick, gelatinous. Collagen from bones creating silk nobody could achieve with ham hock alone. She cooked black-eyed peas in that neck bone broth. Rice cooked in it too, everything absorbing neck bone richness. Meat pulled from bones, shredded through rice and peas. Richness permeating every grain. Depth him hock couldn't match. During the 40s, when cooks competed over whose Hoppin John tasted richest, neck bones provided advantage. More collagen, more gelatin, more unctuous mouthfeel. Secret ingredients separating good from great. Knowledge separating experienced cooks from recipe followers. That neck bone Hoppin John emerged glossy, rice coated in rich broth. Tasting deeper, fuller, more complex than standard versions. Guests asking what made hers different. She smiled, said nothing. Secret ingredients staying secret. Advantage maintaining advantage. Margaret's neck bone. Hoppin John won church cook-off 3 years straight. Finally, she shared her secret neck bones, not ham hock. Other cooks adopted it immediately. Her advantage disappeared, but tradition improved community-wide. Generosity trumping competition, eventually. Every spoonful carried message. Right cut transforms dish. Collagen creates richness seasoning can't. Knowing which bone to use separates experienced from amateur. Hope simmers from neck bones, releases gelatin, coats rice with wisdom. Would you share your secret ingredient or keep advantage? Drop a comment. I want to know what you do. Number 12. Hoppin John with pot liquor. Extra liquid, served with cornbread for soaking. January 1939, when pot liquor mattered as much as peas and rice. When liquid carried nutrients, flavor, tradition. When soaking cornbread in pot liquor meant getting every last bit of nourishment and luck. Thomas Green cooked his Hoppin John extra wet, more water, more broth. Creating swimming peas and rice instead of dry mixture. Intentionally soupy. Pot liquor as feature, not byproduct. Liquid as important as solids. He served it in bowls with extra liquid ladled over, cornbread on the side. Everyone soaking cornbread in pot liquor, eating it, soaking more. Liquid consumed as eagerly as peas and rice. Nothing wasted. Nothing left in bowl. During the 30s, when nutrition mattered desperately, when every vitamin counted, pot liquor Hoppin John represented nutritional wisdom. Vitamins leached into cooking water. Throwing away pot liquor meant throwing away nutrition. Keeping liquid meant keeping health. Science grandmothers understood before science named it. That pot liquor shimmered in bowls. Greenish from peas, rich from ham, flavored deeply with everything cooked in it. Cornbread soaking it up completely. Tongues catching every drop. Zero waste. Maximum nutrition. Maximum flavor. Maximum luck absorbed through liquid. Thomas's pot liquor Hoppin John became known for its broth. People came for the liquid as much as the peas. His pot liquor recipe requested constantly. He said simply more water. That's all. More water meaning more pot liquor, meaning more nutrition, meaning more luck floating in liquid. Every spoonful carried message. Liquid carries nutrients solids can't. Pot liquor is tradition, not waste. Cornbread exists to soak up what matters. Hope swims in broth, soaks into cornbread, wastes nothing. Number 13. Country sausage Hoppin John. Crumbled country sausage variation. January 1951, when country sausage replaced traditional pork. When breakfast sausage created completely different flavor profile. When morning meat transformed New Year's tradition. When country sausage rendered more fat, more flavor, more controversy than ham ever could. Dorothy Phillips browned country sausage first, breaking it into crumbles. Fat rendering out, creating pools of seasoned grease. She removed sausage, cooked onions in sausage fat. Added black-eyed peas, water, cooked them in that sausage-flavored base. Rice cooked separately. She mixed everything together, rice, peas, brown sausage, onions. Sausage seasoning, flavoring everything. Sage, black pepper, red pepper from sausage, permeating rice. Different spice profile. Breakfast meat creating non-breakfast dish. During the 50s, when processed meats became more common, when butcher-made country sausage filled every meat case, sausage Hoppin John represented modernization, not traditional, not old-fashioned, but delicious. Convenience meeting tradition. Modern ingredients transforming old recipes. That sausage Hoppin John tasted like breakfast and New Year's combined. Sage prominent. Sausage fat coating every grain of rice. Spicy from sausage seasoning instead of added peppers. Different, controversial. Purists complained. Families loved it. Taste trumping authenticity. Dorothy's sausage Hoppin John became her children's preferred version. They didn't want ham hock. Wanted sausage. Next generation preferring modern variation. Tradition evolving through younger tastes. Old ways dying as new ways proved more popular. Every spoonful carried message. Modern ingredients transform traditional dishes. Younger generations prefer what tastes good over what's authentic. Tradition evolves or dies. Hope browns in sausage, tastes like breakfast, becomes new tradition eventually. Number 14. Crackling Hoppin John pork cracklings mixed in. January 1943, when cracklings meant using every part of pig. When crispy skin and fat pieces mixed into Hoppin John created texture nobody expected. When crunch in soft rice felt wrong and right simultaneously. Samuel Mitchell rendered lard from pork fat, saving cracklings, crispy skin, and fat pieces. Cooked traditional Hoppin John. Then, at end, stirred in crumbled cracklings. Crispy pieces distributed through soft rice and peas. Textural surprise. Crunchy contrast. Nobody did this commonly. His innovation. His idea. Using cracklings seemed obvious after lard rendering created them. Waste not. Add them. See what happens. Experimentation creating family tradition through trial and curiosity. During the 40s, when nothing got wasted, when every pig part served some purpose, crackling Hoppin John represented complete utilization. Meat in the dish, fat coating the rice, skin providing crunch, whole pig contributing. Zero waste achieving maximum flavor and texture variation. Those cracklings stayed slightly crispy when first mixed in, gradually softening as they absorbed moisture, creating temporal texture crunchy at first, softer later, completely soft eventually. Time-based eating experience. Different bite depending on when you took it. Samuel's crackling Hoppin John never spread widely. Too unusual. Texture too unexpected. But his family loved it. Requested it. Expected it. Personal tradition, born from not wasting cracklings. Innovation becoming family requirement, becoming memory. Every spoonful carried message. Use everything. Waste nothing. Texture variation prevents monotony. Hope crunches with cracklings, softens over time, tastes like complete pig utilization. If you're still watching, you're committed now. These variations keep getting stranger. Keep watching. Comment which one seems most wrong to you. Number 15. Buttermilk Hoppin John. Buttermilk added at end. Creamy texture. January 1947. When adding buttermilk seemed insane until you tasted it. When tangy creaminess transformed rice and peas. When dairy in Hoppin John shocked purists but converted everyone who tried it. Helen Morrison made traditional Hoppin John peas, rice, ham hock, standard. Then, revolutionary final step, she stirred in buttermilk. Cold buttermilk into hot rice. Creating creamy, tangy sauce coating everything. White sauce where no sauce existed before. Dairy transforming bean dish. Her grandmother taught her this. Secret family addition nobody else knew. Buttermilk creating richness without cream. Tang balancing richness. Temperature contrast cold buttermilk meeting hot rice creating textural interest. Simple addition changing everything. During the 40s, when buttermilk was common kitchen staple from butter making, using it in Hoppin John represented resourcefulness. Had buttermilk, used it, discovered it worked beautifully. Innovation through availability. Tradition adapting to what's on hand. That buttermilk Hoppin John emerged creamy and white-sauced, looking nothing like traditional, tasting tangy and rich. Dairy-coating rice grains, completely different mouthfeel. Smooth instead of separate. Cohesive instead of distinct. Wrong-looking. Right tasting. Helen's buttermilk Hoppin John stayed family secret until church potluck when someone demanded recipe. She hesitated, shared, sparked immediate controversy. Half said brilliant, half said sacrilege. Dairy dividing opinion sharply. She kept making it. Her family preferred it. Every spoonful carried message. Dairy transforms bean dishes unexpectedly. Tang balances richness. Secret family additions often shock outsiders. Hope stirs in buttermilk. Creates creaminess. Divides purists from pragmatists who taste before judging. Number 16. Hoppin John soup. Extra liquid, served as soup, not side. January 1935, when Hoppin John as soup made sense during Depression. When stretching food meant adding water. When soup from side dish meant feeding more people from same ingredients. When liquid extended tradition. Robert Hayes made Hoppin John with triple the water. Soup consistency. Peas and rice swimming in flavorful broth. Served in bowls, not plates. Eaten with spoons, not forks. Soup, not side. Necessity creating variation nobody planned. Depression economics. One pot of side dish fed 4 people. Same ingredients plus water made soup feeding 8. Mathematics simple. Pride complicated. Calling it soup instead of watered down Hoppin John preserved dignity. Names mattering for morale. During Depression years, when stretching food meant survival, Hoppin John soup represented linguistic survival as much as nutritional. Adding water was obvious. Calling it soup instead of admitting you'd watered down tradition preserved self-respect. Semantic serving psychology serving survival. That soup steamed thin and brothy. Peas and rice visible but swimming. Filling bowls. Filling stomachs. Less filling than traditional thick Hoppin John, but feeding twice as many people. Trade-off accepted. Volume trumping density, when feeding everyone mattered more than feeding some people fully. Robert's Hoppin John soup fed his family and neighbors throughout Depression. Shared freely because soup stretched easily. Adding water cost nothing. Feeding community possible when feeding community seemed impossible through traditional portions. Soup as sharing mechanism. Every spoonful carried message. Adding water extends food without shame when called soup. Feeding more people matters more than maintaining thick consistency. Linguistic framing preserves dignity during necessity. Hope floats in broth, feeds many, calls itself soup, not poverty. Number 17. Baked Hoppin John casserole. Baked with cheese topping, 1950s variation. January 1956, when casserole dishes conquered America. When Hoppin John got baked with cheese on top. When modern cooking methods met ancient tradition. When ovens and cheese created something grandmothers never imagined. Margaret Sullivan mixed cooked Hoppin John with creamed soup mushroom or celery from Campbell's. Spread it in casserole dish. Topped with shredded cheddar cheese. Baked it until cheese melted golden and bubbly. Modern American casserole treatment applied to Southern tradition. Women's magazines suggested it. Modern cookbooks included it. 1950s casserole craze transforming every traditional dish. Hoppin John not exempt. Green bean casserole had company. Cheese and cream soup modernizing everything old into something new. During the 50s, when convenience foods promised modern living, when casseroles symbolized sophisticated homemaking, baked Hoppin John casserole represented cultural shift. Old ways seeming outdated, new ways seeming progressive. Tradition requiring modernization to stay relevant. Or so magazines claimed. That casserole emerged bubbling and golden. Cheese browned on top, creamy underneath. Tasting nothing like traditional Hoppin John. Tasting like every other 50s casserole. Homogenization through cheese and Campbell's soup. Regional uniqueness sacrificed for national casserole conformity. Margaret's baked Hoppin John casserole appeared once. Her mother-in-law tasted it, said nothing, never spoke of it again. Next year, Margaret made traditional. Lesson learned. Some traditions resist modernization. Some dishes refuse cheese topping. Some grandmothers maintain standards through meaningful silence. Every spoonful carried message. Not every tradition benefits from modernization. Cheese doesn't improve everything. 50s convenience culture couldn't conquer all traditions. Hope sometimes refuses baking dish, rejects cheese topping, insists on staying traditional. Would you try it with cheese? Or does that feel wrong? Drop a comment. Where's your line for acceptable variation? Number 18. Hoppin John with sausage gravy, topped with sausage gravy. January 1954, when someone had leftover sausage gravy and inspiration struck. When breakfast gravy met New Year's tradition. When morning sauce topped evening side dish. When wrong combination tasted unexpectedly right. Thomas Cooper made traditional Hoppin John. Separately, he made sausage gravy breakfast gravy, milk gravy with sausage crumbles. Then, impulse decision, he ladled sausage gravy over Hoppin John. Hot white gravy over rice and peas. Breakfast meeting New Year's. Wrong but somehow working. Accident. Happy accident. Leftover sausage gravy needing use. Hoppin John on the plate. Combination never planned. Tasted together. Worked surprisingly. Became intentional next time. Accident becoming tradition through repetition after discovery. During the 50s, when breakfast for dinner became acceptable, when meal boundaries blurred, sausage gravy Hoppin John represented American informality, rules relaxing, combinations expanding, breakfast sauce on New Year's side dish shocking no one, modern flexibility meeting traditional rigidity, flexibility winning through taste. That sausage gravy soaked into rice, white gravy coating black-eyed peas, looking wrong, tasting right. Creamy where traditionally not. Sausage flavored where ham flavored expected. Different entirely. Controversial completely. Delicious undeniably. Thomas's sausage gravy Hoppin John never became common. Too weird. Too breakfast. Too wrong looking. But his household requested it. His children expected it. Personal tradition, born from leftovers and impulse. Innovation through accident, through acceptance, through repetition. Every spoonful carried message. Accidents create innovations. Breakfast gravy works on New Year's rice. Wrong combinations sometimes taste right. Hope ladles white gravy over black-eyed peas, breaks breakfast boundaries, creates family tradition from morning leftovers. Number 19. Sweet Onion Hoppin John. Vidalia onions, Georgia style. January 1959, when Vidalia onions changed everything. When sweet onions instead of yellow onions created completely different flavor base. When Georgia ingredient announced Georgia identity. When onion variety mattered as much as rice variety. Sarah Bennett used Vidalia onions, exclusively sweet Georgia onions. Chopped them, sautéed them in butter. That sweetness releasing, caramelizing slightly. Added to Hoppin John, creating sweet undertone traditional sharp onions never provided. Georgia claiming Hoppin John through onion choice. She'd always used Vidalias. Grew up with them. Didn't realize other people used regular yellow onions until visiting Carolina relatives. Tasted their Hoppin John, something different, sharper, less sweet. Wrong to her Georgia-trained palate. During the 50s, when Vidalia onions gained recognition beyond Georgia, when sweet onions became Georgia identity marker, Vidalia Hoppin John represented regional variation through ingredient sourcing. Same recipe, different onions. Completely different flavor profile. Geography determining taste through agricultural products. That Vidalia Hoppin John tasted sweeter, mellower, less sharp. Onions almost disappearing into background sweetness. Some people loved it. Some people missed sharp onion bite. Preference dividing along state lines often. Georgia folks preferring Vidalia. Carolina folks preferring yellow. Sarah's Vidalia Hoppin John sparked onion debates at family reunions. Georgia contingent versus Carolina contingent. Onion choice becoming state pride issue. Food becoming identity, becoming regional competition. She used Vidalia's, always, Georgia way. Her way, right way for her. Every spoonful carried message. Onion variety changes dishes fundamentally. Regional ingredients create regional identities. Sweet versus sharp divides opinions cleanly. Hope sought's Vidalia sweetness announces Georgia origin. Tastes like state pride cooked into tradition. If you're still here, you're seeing it clearly. Every ingredient choice announced identity. Comment which state's version you'd prefer. Number 20. Hoppin John fritters. Leftover Hoppin John formed into cakes, fried. January 1948, when leftover Hoppin John became next day's breakfast. When cold rice and peas formed into patties, fried crispy, created completely new dish. When leftovers transformed into something arguably better than original. Dorothy Green mixed cold Hoppin John with beaten egg, flour. Formed patties like crab cakes. Fried them in hot oil until both sides crisped golden brown. Crispy outside, soft inside. Leftover transformation into morning delicacy. Nobody planned leftover strategies for Hoppin John originally. Ate it all New Year's Day. But as families grew, leftovers happened. Cold Hoppin John needing use. Fritters solving leftover problem while creating beloved breakfast. Necessity mothering delicious invention. During the 40s, when wasting food remained unthinkable, when leftovers required creative reuse, Hoppin John fritters represented waste prevention innovation. Cold rice clumps together. Add egg and flour. Fry it. Transform yesterday's side into today's main. Mathematics of maximum food utilization. Those fritters emerged golden and crispy. Interior staying soft. Texture completely different from original. Eating experience transformed. Some family members preferring fritters to original Hoppin John. Leftover becoming preferred. Transformation eclipsing source. Dorothy's Hoppin John fritters became anticipated breakfast. Children asking if there'd be leftovers for fritters. Hoping for leftovers. Reverse situation for normal leftover disappointment. Transformation creating desire for excess original. Fritters justifying overmaking initial dish. Every patty carried message. Leftovers transform into new dishes. Sometimes transformation improves original. Waste prevention creates beloved traditions. Hope forms into patties, fries golden, becomes breakfast better than dinner was. Number 21. Creole Hoppin John Holy Trinity Variation, Louisiana. January 1953, when Louisiana Creoles refused to make Hoppin John without their Holy Trinity. When onions alone felt incomplete. When celery and bell peppers became non-negotiable. When Creole base transformed Carolina tradition into Louisiana necessity. Marie Landry started with Holy Trinity onions, celery, bell peppers chopped fine. Sautéed them in butter until soft and fragrant. Added black-eyed peas, ham, rice. Cooked everything together. Creole base flavoring everything. Louisiana method applied to Carolina dish. She'd never made it without Trinity. Her mother never had. Her grandmother never had. Louisiana tradition requiring Louisiana ingredients. Hoppin John incomplete without celery and peppers. Not authentic Creole food without proper base. Regional requirement non-negotiable. During the 50s, when Creole cooking gained national recognition, when Louisiana food became celebrated, Creole Hoppin John represented regional adaptation necessity. Carolina version was fine for Carolina. Louisiana required Louisiana treatment. Holy Trinity making it properly Creole. Adaptation as requirement for adoption? That Creole Hoppin John tasted completely different from Carolina original. Celery adding herbal notes. Bell peppers adding sweetness and slight bitterness. Complexity layers deeper. Flavor profile broader. Louisiana claiming dish through flavor transformation. Marie's Creole Hoppin John became New Orleans standard. Other Louisiana cooks made it similarly. Regional consensus emerging Trinity required for Louisiana authenticity. Carolina folks tasting it, noting it was different. Neither side claiming other was wrong, just different. Regional variation acknowledged and accepted. Every spoonful carried message. Regional cooking bases transform adopted dishes. Holy Trinity makes everything Creole. Adaptation enables adoption. Hope soughts Trinity first, flavors everything Louisiana, transforms Carolina tradition into Louisiana necessity. Number 22. Brown rice Hoppin John. Brown rice instead of white, rare historical variation. January 1931, when some families used brown rice before white rice processing became standard. When whole grain created completely different texture. When brown rice Hoppin John tasted nutty, chewy, foreign to most, but familiar to few. Robert Mitchell used brown rice unmilled, whole grain. Took longer cooking, chewier texture, nuttier flavor, different from white rice everyone else used. His family's way, old way, before rice milling became common practice. He cooked brown rice separately 45 minutes instead of 20, added it to black-eyed peas and ham hock. Brown rice staying firmer, chewier, never achieving white rice's fluffy separation. Different entirely. Some called it undercooked. He called it correct. During the 30s, when rice processing had largely standardized to white rice, brown rice Hoppin John represented dyeing technique. Older method. More labor-intensive for eater chewier, requiring more chewing. White rice's ease winning convenience battle. Brown rice losing popularity to processing efficiency. That brown rice Hoppin John looked darker, browner. Tasted nutty and substantial. Chewing required. Texture more prominent. Flavor more assertive. Different eating experience. Not better or worse, just different. And different loss to standardization eventually. Robert's brown rice Hoppin John died with him. His children preferred white rice. Easier chewing. Standard texture. Modern preference. Brown rice method dying as older generation died. Processing convenience, eliminating whole grain tradition. His version remembered, but not continued. Every spoonful carried message. Convenience kills labor-intensive traditions. White rice processing eliminated brown rice Hoppin John mostly. Easier trumps different eventually. Hope chews brown rice, remembers whole grains, dies when next generation prefers processing. Would you try brown rice version? Or does white rice seem essential? Drop a comment. Modern brown rice revival wasn't always health choice, was sometimes tradition. Number 23. Hoppin John salad. Served cold with vinaigrette, modern twist with old roots. June 1960, when someone served Hoppin John cold and called it salad. When summer heat made hot, Hoppin John unappealing. When temperature variation created new tradition. When cold transformed meaning completely. Helen Washington made traditional Hoppin John. Let it cool completely. Refrigerated it overnight. Next day, she dressed it with vinaigrette oil, vinegar, herbs, served it cold. Summer salad, picnic food. Hoppin John without heat. Revolutionary temperature shift. She'd done it accidentally, first leftover Hoppin John, too hot for summer reheating, dressed with vinegar, eaten cold. Surprisingly good, different purpose, different season. Different temperature creating different dish from same ingredients. Cold elevating leftovers to intentional salad. During the 60s, when cold salads became sophisticated summer food, when icebox opened possibilities, Hoppin John salad represented seasonal adaptation. Winter tradition becoming summer possibility. Temperature shift enabling year-round enjoyment. Refrigeration technology enabling tradition expansion beyond New Year's Day. That cold Hoppin John salad tasted vinegary and refreshing. Peas firm, rice separate, dressing coating everything. Summer appropriate. Picnic perfect. Different from hot traditional, but equally satisfying in summer context. Season dictating serving temperature. Climate informing tradition. Helen's Hoppin John salad became her summer potluck contribution. Never made it for New Year's that required hot traditional. But summer? Cold salad worked beautifully. Seasonal variation enabling tradition extension. Different season, different temperature, same ingredients, different experience. Every forkful carried message. Temperature changes dishes completely. Cold creates new from traditional hot. Seasons enable variations. Hope chills overnight, dresses with vinegar, becomes summer possibility for winter tradition. Number 24. Plantation-style Hoppin John. Whole dried peas, never canned. January 1945, when plantation-style meant dried peas from last harvest. When canned peas seemed like cheating. When soaking overnight and long cooking meant authenticity. When dried peas represented connection to growing, harvesting, preserving, preparing complete cycle traditional cooking required. Samuel Green used dried black-eyed peas exclusively, never canned. Dried from his field or purchased dried from someone's field. Soaked them overnight. Cooked them slow. Dried peas requiring patience, planning, time. Tradition requiring connection to agriculture. Canned peas existed. Convenient. Faster. He refused them. Plantation-style meant dried. Meant connection to growing season. Meant knowing where peas came from. Meant preparing them yourself completely. Canned broke that connection. Convenience severing tradition's agricultural roots. During the 40s, when canned goods became common, when convenience invaded kitchens, plantation-style Hoppin John represented resistance to convenience. Dried peas maintaining connection to land, to growing, to seasons, to agricultural cycle. Canned eliminating that connection. He chose connection over convenience. Those dried peas cooked up firm and creamy. Better texture than canned. He believed that. Whether true or confirmation bias didn't matter. He tasted difference. Dried was better. Traditional was better. Connection was better. Belief becoming taste, becoming preference, becoming requirement. Samuel's plantation-style Hoppin John required planning overnight soaking. Required time-long cooking. Required connection knowing pea source. His children found it tedious. Eventually used canned. Tradition dying as convenience won through ease. His resistance lasting only his lifetime. Next generation choosing speed. Every spoonful carried message. Dried connects to growing seasons. Canned severs agricultural connection. Convenience kills labor-intensive traditions eventually. Hope soaks overnight, cooks slow, maintains connection until next generation chooses cans. If you're still watching, you've seen 24 variations. One more. Last one. Comment which variation surprised you most. Number 25. Gullah red rice Hoppin John. combined with red rice tradition. January 1957, when someone combined Hoppin John with red rice and created ultimate Lowcountry dish. When two traditions merged into one pot. When black-eyed peas met tomato rice. When fusion happened before fusion was concept. When combining iconic dishes created something new acknowledging both. Esther Jenkins made red rice tomatoes, rice, bacon, onions. Traditional Gullah dish. Separately, she cooked black-eyed peas with ham hock. Then revolutionary combination mixed them together. Red rice and Hoppin John. Two New Year's traditions merging. Double luck. Double tradition. Double Lowcountry identity in one bowl. Nobody told her to do this. Inspiration struck. Both dishes symbolizing New Year's luck. Both dishes central to Gullah tradition. Why serve separately? Combine them. Create ultimate New Year's dish. Fusion through cultural logic. Innovation honoring both traditions simultaneously. During the 50s, when Gullah traditions maintained themselves amid outside pressure to assimilate, combining red rice with Hoppin John represented cultural preservation through adaptation. Both staying, both mattering. Both combined rather than choosing one. Refusing to let either tradition die. Fusion as preservation strategy. That combined dish emerged red-brown and substantial. Tomato-flavored rice, black-eyed peas throughout, bacon and ham flavors combining, looking beautiful, tasting complex, texture varied, visual appeal undeniable. Two beloved dishes creating something arguably better than either alone. Esther's red rice Hoppin John became her signature New Year's dish. Neighbors requested it. Other Gullah cooks adopted it. Regional fusion spreading because it worked. Because it honored both traditions. Because it tasted better combined. Innovation respecting tradition while transforming it. Every spoonful carried message. Combining traditions preserves both. Fusion can honor sources. Two beloved dishes create something new without losing either. Hope combines red rice with Hoppin John, turns brown red, tastes like Gullah identity, refusing to choose between traditions. 25 variations. 2 centuries. Countless Deep South kitchens where Hoppin John meant something different, everyone claiming theirs was authentic. These weren't just recipes. They were identity cooked into rice and peas. Carolina Gold announcing Charleston. Red peas announcing Sea Islands. Holy Trinity announcing Louisiana. Each variation revealing where you came from, who taught you, what you believed about tradition. Your grandmother made one of these. Maybe several. Maybe invented her own variation nobody else knew. These traditions die when we stop making them. When we forget rice variety mattered. When we use canned peas because dried seems tedious. Which variation did your family make? Which one represents your grandmother's kitchen? Drop it in the comments. Say her name. Keep her version remembered. Share this with someone whose family made Hoppin John their way. These variations matter. This diversity matters. Regional food traditions die when we standardize everything. Happy New Year. And remember, authentic means what your grandmother taught you. Everyone else's grandmother taught them different. They're all right.